Is that right? How about
Yes.
now?
You sound great, man, as usual. You sound
Okay.
great.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yes.
We just make sure that we right here. We in the building.
Rocking old
What I
school.
don't even know what's today. It's March. You know,
March the 1st. It is the 1st of March.
well, because Black History Month, we got the short month, so we already done with February.
And they still trying to fight it that short month. You know what I mean?
We done with February already.
Trying to beat us up on the short month, still causing problems. But
I
nevertheless,
heard
nevertheless,
that. But man, I'm liking this color coordination we got here. You got the blue on one side, and you got the yellow, and I didn't even consciously come through with the yellow. We looking like boys
and
to
the
men
shirt
up in here.
focus. You still focused?
I'm
You know
trying
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
just a little bit, not 100%, not 100%.
Not like
I got them shirts that you were recommending, the one with the meters on it. You got me spending more money sometime on things
listen,
that I
man.
do not need.
The meter is it?
Yeah,
Gotta have a
I
meter
got
on.
that. Yeah, I got that. Man, you've been working. Talk a little bit about that. You out there in these streets doing the content creation thing and helping folks tell their stories, right? And man, I love that because you doing some audio stuff mainly, right? You got all the gear for the lights, the cameras, and the action, but you're doing more and more audio stuff, right?
Yes, it's the setup, man, because it's the wave of, I don't want to say wave of the future, but every now and again we have to do what's necessary to set ourselves up for what's next. And I think it's time now for people that know it, that instead of just talking about it, you be about it, right? And then we don't have to look for the affirmations on the be it about it. Okay. It's kind of like where people look for affirmation or affirming, it's already done where you don't even need the affirming. It's just done so that people can see it and they can ask questions off of what they see, not what the talk about it is that you haven't shown. This is how you do it.
Keep going deep already. Y'all not ready for this, man. He been up all morning. He done already closed all the rings on his Apple Watch, and let me put mine on because he done already, okay, we got some folks coming in from Spain. Oh my goodness,
Spain,
bro,
we
global,
man.
We global. Shouts out to you, Carlos. Appreciate you for being in the building. We normally
Carlos, what's going on, Dave?
Thursdays at what 9:30 your time, 6:30 my time, but I'm traveling this week.
Okay,
I'm gonna be on them highways and byways.
Yeah, so did you want to clarify for everybody why you live now? Why we live now?
Hey, this is one of them random, one of them drive-by lives. Stephanie Lou said, "Don't do any drive-by lives." That's kind of what we doing, but we're not really doing. Yeah, I'm gonna be going to see. We're gonna go see our son up at OSU, Oregon State University, this week. Leaving tomorrow. So driving with the extended family, in-laws, my parents, and all, and we gonna hit that highway in the snow.
Ooh, yikes! Good Lord.
Yeah, be careful what you say, because I don't. My mom was, she was a little hesitant yesterday. She was like, maybe we don't go. Mom, it's gonna be all right. We gonna be
Oh,
all
she was
right.
thinking not to do it?
Yeah, she wanted. She almost pulled the plug and said, "Baby, I ain't going." Oh, you going? We going? Yeah. But yeah, we having, I don't know what we having. It's just crazy weather out here everywhere though, right? I mean, it's
Right.
windy right now. It's been snowing in Sacramento, which it does not snow in Sacramento, but that's what's happening. So, but we gonna do what we gonna do. Just pray that we be all right.
No, the weather's crazy. The weather's crazy all over. I'm liking seeing the weather all crazy. Matter of fact, was it snow in Vegas? I was just out there in my uncle's crib, and I'm sitting there like, what in the snow in Vegas is going on? I mean, that's it right there. When you got snow in Vegas, you got a problem.
Something going on. Something y'all better get right. Y'all better. You can talk about that Sunday for the motivational minutes on Sunday. You talk about.
I'm gonna stay out of that lane, because some people you ever know people.
I'm pushing right now. I'm trying to. I'm trying to aggravate. Just
I'm gonna kind of stay in my lane on that one, because folk want you to go into some deep apocalyptic, thing where we start weather watching rather than soul watching or something. You know what I mean?
Now.
and everybody got a word on. It's a tornado in Africa. I told y'all Jesus is coming. You like that? Nah,
the locust is coming out. No, they not. But if they are, you better be ready. You better be ready. Let's see. Carlos says it's 10 p.m. in Madrid. Man. So is it Wednesday or is it Thursday? So it's Wednesday probably. Okay.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. If it's 10 p.m. So okay. You got 2 more hours left and then he's into the next day.
All right. We're just like, so shout out in the building. Look, I told you, we got folks. We global, brother. Maybe we should just go
Rich be on the low with the dope setup. Like from way back, he had the cameras and stuff.
Look, Rich was out there. I think he was out in the streets with Elo the other day, and they got that big money, so they got all kind of new gear all the time. So it's all right.
That's about right. That sounds right.
Look at David Harvey's out here talking about. Come on now, go ahead and drop them Amazon affiliate links so you can get this money. Y'all always talking about it. You better. I told you to do that too. Right on the convos, you come out and you got, I'm setting up all my gear. I'm trying to help y'all with it.
I need help with that.
We trying to get you little coin.
I'm gonna need help with that. I figure I just gotta stop playing around and do it the right way and just put the links and stuff up. I'll be on it soon. I'm just lunching right now. I'll figure it out.
David was on Kirk's stream today asking about this thing right here. But see, but he's asking about filters, and nobody's answering them. He gonna ask you.
What kind of filters?
Them black mists. That's what he wants. The man wants some help, and he's trying to spend his money. Let the man.
It's crazy. Money. It's kind of overrated. I do have a black pro mist on this right here. It's only like a one stop or something like that. Yeah. In the world of video, to me, I believe it's tomato, right? Where technically you can achieve it just with a LUT. And shout out to Marshall Fox, been on the LUT from the jump, right? Mm-hmm, and it's like, because it add that little creamy thing. And a lot of people have been fighting around. My recommendation is you grab the 16 millimeter, the 30, 56, depending on where you put your camera at. One of them prime APS-C lenses, right?
Yeah.
1.4. Start with that. And then, drop maybe, you can do a black pro mist. I like the Black Pro Mist filter. I put one on there by Tiffin. I got mine from Tiffin. Yeah, and depending on the millimeter, like the size that you need, you can get them cheaper or the price will be up. I just started there, but then when I looked at the LUTs that you can do, here's what I did. I bummed off of the LUTs, off of the ones that I'm buying for Final Cut Pro, because most people don't know you can use them.
That's true.
So if you spend the money,
right?
Yeah, with Ecan, right? With Ecan.
You got to be clear, because some of them other programs, applications aren't as dope as that. I got LUTs and filters jumping off here in this area right here. I went with the 1/8 black diffusion on.
Yes.
I got the same filter on both of these two main cameras as well, and I'm using some JP High-Tech LUTs. So man, I'm double dipping, and it's working
Okay.
out all right. Yeah, but that
Yeah.
Tiffin blackness, like David Harvey saying, that's the truth. That's the truth.
hmm Yeah, and I think Doc's been using it. Shout out to Sean Doc Rock. He's been using them forever. And so by the time I got it, I just did it because I like it. But I
Yeah,
realized there's a ton of people that was fine with the look that I've been having, right? Without the LUT. So it's kind of like it's your own preference. Like it's not like, oh, the LUT's gonna get me 8 more viewers. It's not
right.
really a direct correlation to it. It's gotta be whatever is, and this is the talking point here. It's gotta be whatever's in your comfort zone for you.
Yeah.
Once you
Well,
get what's in your comfort zone for you, not unless you suck, but it's almost like telling people like a LUT's gonna fix your image, and it's not.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
If you
let's
ain't got
keep
the
talking about
lights
that
right,
because you were in the middle of a comment on the Ecamm group. I won't put the man's name out there on blast, but you're talking
okay,
exactly about this, right? About
right.
having lights set up, and talking about the 3-point lighting and things of that nature. And I'm summarizing, but you essentially said, whatever looks good to you, do that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what A, B, and C, X, Y, and Z are doing. Does it look good to you?
hmm Well,
Right.
here's a great point. Let's look at both our shots right now.
Yeah.
I can transform to what you're doing, and you can transform to what I'm doing by the click of a couple of buttons,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Because you got all your lights set up, and if you wanted to drop the room and give
Mhm.
more of a dark look, all you do is just push a couple of buttons, and your scene looks like mine. I up a couple, and my scene looks like yours.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because we got our 3 points together, we got our lights here together, and so we can do whatever we want with the room.
Yeah.
If you just wanted to focus on the focus, you can darken everything, and everybody only see your yellow shirt and focus. You deliberately have a black mic, so the mic ain't taken away from
Yeah.
it. I would change mine if I wanted to take focus off the mic, and that's the thing that most people aren't helped with when they're trying to get what they call better. And
Mm.
better is relative based on what are you trying to achieve? That's the main thing. What are you trying to
The whole
achieve?
aesthetic piece, because everything you're saying right now. So in my stream tonight at 6:30 p.m. my time, I will have that environment where it'll be more of a subdued look, but
And you play a different camera on some of your things too,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
Yep. You posture a certain way, you play a different angle, and it so you achieve like more than one look.
Yeah, let me
So that's what I was.
drop it in there right now. So there's that other look right there, right? So
Yep. Boom.
this is what we do, man. Let me at least look at you. Hold on. Let me stop. Let me. You don't want to be looking at my
and see
back.
see, I love that how you played that. And and you know what's crazy? Some people don't realize that is if you got more than one camera, each camera actually does
That's two whole
different
angles right now. Yeah, that's 2 whole angles right. Man,
Yeah, it's a whole different
stop showing
environmental
off,
thing.
brother. Stop showing off. Yeah.
That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. So and David has seen your whole jib set up. I mean, again, all right. So let's pause and talk about, because we've already gone a whole lot of different angles, and
Mhm.
this really isn't this show talking about gear and stuff like that. But understanding, do you need that? Why is that important to you? Yeah, we got the things. Matter of fact, I'm
Mhm.
waiting. Listen, I told Keith I'm waiting for the doorbell to ring, because Shure is dropping off some products, and apparently I got a sign for it. So shout out to brand, working with some brands there. Shouts out to Shure. So yeah, if they come, I'm gonna have to just go take you full screen.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
So
because I need to go sign for it, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't let it sit out there.
right. We'll be nice. We won't talk bad about you while you going.
I can edit it in Final Cut. It's all good. But all the stuff isn't necessary to have a great show, to have a great session, to have a great content, right? So I mean, lights, camera, and action. Now, again, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to? And are you engaging with the community? That I mean, I always make sure to keep that forward, conscious of mind. Right, because you and I can sit here and we can talk for hours about whatever, but if I'm not pulling up the comments of what Rich is talking about, Carlos and David and everyone else that's watching and listening, then right, it's just 2 cats sitting around drinking coffee and chopping it up. We can do that anytime, but yeah,
Right. True.
Let me get my camera back right now. Hold on, man. You got me messing with my stuff.
You know what you're doing over there.
I do. I do. I do.
Look at that. You got the
Oh.
swimming stuff on the screen. That's fire, man. Like, I don't know nothing about that. That was
all right.
Now you just showing out, but you can't take it no place. Little transition.
My goodness. My goodness. I like it.
What's in terms of the messaging, I guess I'm selfishly want to learn and want to know what more you're working on. Just, when it comes to, because I started asking you about you doing a lot of the audio stuff, but when it comes to picking and choosing maybe who you work with, or do you do that? Are you particular about numbers? Are you numbers as a number of people that you work with, not necessarily the financial piece? We won't get into your pocketbook, but how do you go about saying I'm gonna spend my quality time with you, potential customer, potential client, but I may not want to spend time with you for whatever reason? And if you don't mind going into just a little bit of that, just again, I don't want to be selfish and ask.
It's great. It's like being on here with you, right? It's understanding your why and being influential enough for the ask and for the ask either way, right? So, if I see something in you and I'm like, hey, I love to do a show with you, James, I'm saying that because I've already evidenced you don't need me to do what you're doing, right? And like the best strength you could ever have is two independents that don't need one another, right? Because then you can grow to help those who are in need, right? So now you get a power of two that don't need, right? But then it's better when, okay? So what happens is I personally, and I said this on a show before, I protect my yes. Protecting your yes is when you get hyped, you can jump on anything. Think about when we all met in eCam community. Everybody's just dropping a link and everybody's on the screen with each other. Yeah. And then it's not that the novelty wore off, but purpose started to push its way back into our reasoning, right? And then we have to look at, okay, am I just farting around on the live? Which technically you can do, right? I mean, it's your program. You can sit up on it and just go, oh, we live, and just sit there and be like, what you doing? What you doing? Right? So then it comes into who you are purpose-wise. So for me, I'm a creative. But before the word creative, I'm a songwriter, producer. The word producer goes into talent, it goes into gift, it goes into building. Being a blessing to others and not just to satisfy me, but it's like giving out what's in me. So to not hide the creativity, you do it. And so when you do that, you can't just waste time just doing it. You want to do it where it prospers, where it's doing something and you're at your perfection. So your yes can't always go to people that aren't on a technical level with you, or else you start to build your burden.
Wow.
Okay.
Building so burden. Okay. How much energy do you want to put in it? Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, you can start building your own burden to get to where you believe you can be, because you're not really matching. Then you have to look at, hey, like between us two, I can figure out most of what you're doing, but I'm just like, you real good at it. So you and me go up together. I'll let you send me the link and you be the control on that. Now in this room, when I bring people in the room for something that I'm doing, I got all my stuff set up, buttons pushing. They like, damn, what you do over there? I'm telling Alexa to do stuff. In here. Shout out to our buddy India Delgado. She's real great at, Stream Deck pushing buttons all over the place. Right? But some people aren't. And so what I learned is you have to know who you are, what you're trying to achieve. And then you have to be real careful about partnerships. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful about partnerships. So to answer this question you threw out there, I keep the circle kind of small, not on some, better than or X, Y, and Z. It's kind of like the be anxious for nothing thing. Be patient, or else, you find yourself, as I said, building your burdens. and that's a problem.
Patience is tough though. Patience is right because you want it quick, right? Especially if you think you're ready. So I'm just being hypothetical here and just asking these doubting Thomas questions to spark the conversation. But if I'm you earlier on, wanting to build a business, wanting to build a practice of producing content development for folks, you want all those clients soon, and you want all of the the Venmos and the PayPals and the invoices and all that to happen. But how do you pause and be patient and appreciate the process of one, learning your skill, learning how to push all those buttons, learning how to do the setup and the configuration and the lights and how to do all of the infrastructure around it? How do you not try to leapfrog mentally to say, just fake it? Like say, oh yeah, I can do all these things. Just here's an invoice, here's a bill, send me the money and we'll make it happen. When should you do that and when should you not do that, I guess is my question that I'm trying to ask you, if that makes sense, right? How do you remain patient with the process of learning your craft?
You know what? Patience is only going to be in the person that's really got it, right? The person that doesn't really have it, right? You won't have to deal with much patience as much as paying for what you don't have the patience to do, right? So that separates the you and I from the people that want to be on a platform like you and I, but they got to pay a studio to do it because all their capacity is here's what I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to talk about. And I don't know nothing about SM7B into a Universal Audio or into a Rodecaster Pro, Ecamm. I don't even know what that is. OBS something. I don't even know what that stuff is. I just know I want to be live like Keith and James.
Yeah.
And your studio is supposed to be able to do that.
And there's so nothing wrong with
sit
that,
in this chair.
Right. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that from me, maybe the client side, right? Having that expectation.
Right. So the patience, when you get into it, the patience is exercising the person that has the vision to actually do it, right? That person is going to know where patience kicks in at because there's intentional patience, there's forced patience, and then there's just patience by default. You're going to have it. Like one piece of patience is I just discovered my HDMI cord is jacked up. Well, you got to have patience for Amazon to bring it in 24 hours, right? Your other one is, oh, I need a wider lens because 8 people want to come in my room. Well, you got to have patience until B&H sends that in. You can move on that patience, but after the store is closed, you got to suck it up and wait till tomorrow to do it. But you already know what you need the patience for. So if you're like, oh, I need a SM7B is a better mic, and I got to wait on that. If you don't have the money, you got to have patience until you get the money to get it. You see what I'm saying? Like all of that, the patience is exercised in the person that has the gift and the talent. The people that don't, patience ain't your problem. It's called money is your problem, right? and you have to pay to get that done. The person that knows it, we're in a position of, or the person that kind of gets, like, remember there's levels of technology.
Right.
My wife, maybe your wife, you're going to give them an MV7.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Plug it up USB.
They done.
Take a camera, put it in front of them, one cam link and be like, go for it.
Yeah, they done.
Right? They're done. You set them up. I cut my wife upstairs, cut one light on for her. She don't know nothing about all this stuff. All she knows is he put the thing over there and something, and I pushed that, plugged the headphones in.
She probably don't want to know about it. Right?
She don't want. So see, she don't have to deal with patience.
Come on now.
You see what I'm saying? Because where she wants to be, we as the tech people set them up to get there. You got what I'm saying? We put them there. Us, where's there for us? We don't have it there. Aperture just came out with something, and Amaran. So where's there? The goalposts move because we like, oh.
Listen, I'm looking for my old boxes right now. So man, listen, don't let these go doxes go on and say, watch out, Macari. Watch out, Facebook Market.
So look, you just created a need to have patience because we turn into the anxious creators. because we go, oh, I can't wait for the new Sony to come out.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the new such and such. So we put ourselves in a position to exercise patience.
Pray on that, boy. Pray on. You talking to someone who is halfway listening, because I have no patience. Unfortunately, I'm trying to, again, like I said, that was all selfish. I need help in that whole department. But listen, Motivated Minds came through with something right there. Passionate patience is required for sustainable growth. Embracing the pain, fear, insecurities, uncertainty, etc. is key. Goodness gracious. But requires a passionate or hyper committed attitude. My goodness. Coming through with some fire right there. I'm going to make sure I save that, because that's a good one right there. It's going to be in my YouTube short.
I literally had a client over today, and I was dropping something in that nature. And I love what you said, Motivated Minds. I was saying to her about how frustration leads to passion, right? And I was like, she had an event, and I said, you have to look at the frustrating part of it. And I say, you're going to do one or two things. You're just going to cuss everybody out. You're going to get mad with yourself, or you're going to look at it and say, how do I fix that? And how do I prevent that from happening again? And how do I make it better than it was? And I said, and that frustration goes to passion. So my frustration with lag on my end was, I'm going to sit up here all night and find out what's throwing the lag in. And then I discover I got to cut a certain thing off, or cut a certain thing on. When the camera's in and out of focus, that frustration leads to passion. I want my image to look right. So what do? So we end up dealing with frustration frustration that leads to our passion. And then leading to passion, you got to have patience, even with the frustration.
Yeah.
And so,
because that's what we learn. Right. Because I mean, I will be in this room. My wife will come in and she'll see me on the floor underneath the desk, pulling cables again, like 3 nights a week. Why? Just going through, like you say, the iteration, going through betterment, not being complacent, not being content with what we have, what we got, but always trying to do just a little bit better, that 1% better each time. So tonight, I see my man Steve Worthy here. Listen, tonight before I go live with Steve Worthy, I'm gonna do something a little bit different, right? But again, that's how we get better. That's how Keith Pelzer stays that subject matter expert for the clients that are reaching out to you, just because you do tinker, because that HDMI cable is busted. You see that, and okay, this is probably the symptom. Let me go find that root cause. But so I don't look at that as a bad thing. I don't look at that as a bad thing. And
right.
I look at it as a bad thing if we stop doing that. If we do get complacent, if we do get content with just the status quo, stay at the same level, as opposed to trying to evolve and trying to grow. So,
what's awesome? We're in a creative state. Like, before the pandemic, this was happening, but by the time the pandemic hit, at this point, we're talking 2 years ago, right? It accelerated the creativity in the streamer, right? And then we found these tools and things like, we turned cam links was basically just for one camera on a gamer, right?
Yeah.
We turned it into, hey, multiple angles, just find another angle.
Didn't know what happened when we got to him, boy.
I mean, that thing was like a drug on the street, bro. It was like, yo, you got cam links? Oh, that boy got the cam links. It's like, yo. And they're like, yo, I sold it to you for like $400. You like, whoa, $400 for a cam link.
They were selling for more than $149 or whatever too, right?
Bro, honest to God truth, I was so impatient and hungry. I literally bought a cam link for $300. I bought one of them out of all the cam links. I bought one of them. I paid $300 for it because I was like, dude, I need to put a camera on the other side of the room. And I was so hungry for it. I paid double the amount because law of scarcity. That's crazy.
That is insane. I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing with you, and I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because you don't want to see my debits and credits during that time,
bro. Bruh.
Raider, grace and peace to the live. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for stopping through.
Raider.
Content creators put Elgato on the map. Like 90. Go ahead. Put Timbaland on the map. Go ahead. You always got to have a hip hop reference there. That's
to the point where they just start making up stuff like, hey, let's throw a pedal out. Do you have a Stream Deck pedal?
I do. I had to get a new one because mine broke.
Oh, I could have gave you mine, man. I don't even use it.
It was free. They did an RMA on it, but yeah, I got it and I don't use it. Let me see. Next comment come up. I'll see if it comes up.
Oh, that's good. So put the comments on it.
Yeah, so I got my previous scene, next scene, and in the middle I got the comments.
That's what. Okay, I get it because that's what I had to do, the previous and next scene type thing. But I'm
let's see. Here go to pedal. There you go. Look, it worked. Okay.
Okay, because I was just like, but look, that's one of those things where it was like, we joke about gear acquisition syndrome, but see, I guess it's the preacher guy in me that looks out for, I don't want to say the little guy, I don't want to reference it little, but the unaware of what you're falling into.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said about, people we know that, they went through God knows how many mics and they end up with this very mic right here. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, like
talking about people. Lord, don't say again.
I'm just gonna keep it 100 because
we not mentioning names up in
real family going to say it like we went through all that to end up right here. I mean, come on, you understand what I'm saying?
We
shout out to Alicio.
We told you to grab the Michael Jackson mic. We told you.
Alicio ain't know. He was just like, and Doc took up for me. It was like, dude, I'm using a studio like expensive mic for vocal recording, right? At the time. Yeah. But my why was I'm not going to keep talking into this $3,000 mic. And what I need to do broadcast wise and the clients I'm bringing in, I don't want them in my $3,000 mic. So I put the thing away and was like, yo, what's the next best thing if I pull this off? And hands down, it was just the SM7B. So I didn't go through the multiple, check this out. The why would be, I give him a shout out, the Tom Buck kind of thing of he goes through gear so that you can make your decision. Right. He's not a fan of any one thing. The fan that he is when you see what he uses and then he can tell you, this is what I use, but he doesn't say.
When he's done testing, you see what he actually.
He don't say this better. He gives you a reason, the pros and cons. Some people go, oh, I got this bell. You need this. No, you don't. Like, figure out what works for you.
I'm gonna get me one of those though.
The bell?
I'm gonna give me one of them Delgado bell. I'm gonna call it the Delgado bell since
I gotta call it the India because I got it a while back, right? And it wasn't even on my studio desk. But when India came over and I let her do the takeover, India was in here. She was like, yeah, she pushing all the buttons and stuff. And Keith's got this camera analyzing this. People was saying stuff, and she was like, because I don't have I didn't have the button that she got. So she was like, she kept ringing it, and I was like, people was like, that bell is hot. And she was like, yeah, Keith's got it on his desk. And I was like, I never used the bell. So, but I ain't giving it to her though.
India in trouble because she made me buy this chair that I'm sitting in, and I hollered at her and I told her I call it the Delgado. So I done went out and bought spent all this money on this chair. It's dope. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's dope. She didn't have an affiliate link. Back to the affiliate links. Get your affiliate links right.
Okay. All right, I get them set.
We're gonna work on that this weekend, unless you traveling too. Hold on, let me see what Motivated Mind is saying. It's really hard to sit in the uncomfortable feeling and thought that we face in the change process. But necessary for real change. Becoming more comfortable in our discomfort. No, don't shut up. Yeah, no, keep them coming. You see, I got the banner going. Keep asking questions. We
keep
just
it going.
Chopping it up. I'm just, hanging out until Shure comes by with their deliveries.
More comfortable in our discomfort.
Yeah, that was
dope.
pretty heavy,
I like it.
Right? That was heavy. Man.
That's good. That's good and heavy. Okay. So, and the uncomfortable feelings and thoughts that we face in the change process. Wow, You know what? You know what's
I
interesting?
might have to send him, whoever that is, the link so they can come on screen too.
Yeah, to dig in. I mean, okay, because it's a couple of areas we got to do more lives. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we could go through. Okay, this is something. This is my little ministry like moment. So this was dropped in my spirit earlier. I'm just messing, but it like this was dropped on me from some the said comments that we saw earlier in the eCam community, right? Yeah. And I thought about it, and it wasn't just the poster and answering his question, but it sparked something in me that was just like, I wanted to help people that what I was typing, you ever type something and then you erase it? You kind of like, nah, I'll just save it to say it when it's relevant, but it's deep. I remember it fresh in my head. And that was we got to be careful of those who dictate rather than give information because they're asked, right? And then on the other side, you want to be careful in asking, right, when it's not convinced influence. So people that are asking me now, like, hey, like I started to shut up and stop telling people how to light yourself, how to do your audio, you know, what looks right. Because I started to get frustrated with every time I went live, you know, everybody's in the comment section, oh, your light's dark on one side, or you ain't got enough this, you got that, or you put your mic, you need to move it, or your focus is going. And I'm like, okay, I'm saying something that you need to listen to. I don't care about the focus right now. Like, can you hear it? And if it's frustrating, look away because my audio is right.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Close your eyes. So I thought about it, and I was just like, you know what ends up happening? If you know what you're doing and you do it, people will like what you're doing. And then by the time they ask, they know what they're asking. So you just tell them what you're doing, not what they need to do. You see what I'm saying? If I like something that you're doing, I'll just be like, yo, what light is that behind you? You could tell me what the light is behind you, but it's not because you went live and say, hey, I got the Nan light and y'all ain't got good lights unless you got a Nan light. Like, to me, that sucks so bad when people do that. And I've seen that happen through the pandemic. And I'm like, that's what separates people that end up being comfortable in their discomfort. There it is, motivational minds. They're comfortable in their discomfort. Because me and you, we both, and many of others, we've had discomforts many times. We could be sitting there on the live and sitting there looking like, that light is really bothering me behind it. But you just go through with the thing, and then we sit up and we find out how to deal with that discomfort and how we'll get comfortable in our discomfort. And so the comfort space is, if you're a streamer, then you stream. So how do you get yourself comfortable in the stream? What works for you? You understand what I'm saying?
Reps.
Some people, they chase what I was doing. They's like, oh, I like that moving thing. And I'm like, I don't know if you want to create that. Because for me, it's not a burden. It's a high. For you, not meaning you, but for somebody else, I'm like, that might be a burden. And people have gotten to go, man, you got to put a battery in it, so and so.
Bruh. And it takes a lot of I've told a lot of folks who saw you probably 2 years ago with the jibs and the sliders and said, right, man, y'all don't want that. I'm just,
it ain't for the faint of heart.
Right. It's gonna take up all the little room in your 6x6.
Man, that's why I got rid of that loop deck real quick. I bought that loop deck, and I was like, man, I was like, I'm out.
Don't need it.
I was like Shark Tank, man. I was like, nah.
Can't do nothing for you.
I'm out. No way. No way.
I just noticed too while we was talking. Okay, I got my triggers going as well. So when someone buys something from the merch store, I see someone just bought some of the new dope merch that I released. That's cool.
Come on, merch.
Listen, I'm out here multiple streams, brother. Multiple streams.
I got ordered some of that coffee from I got to order some of your coffee. Yeah, Preston So.
Yeah, man.
You got your
get my coffee, man. I don't have any coupon codes, but you know the Nixons will put the love and care around in their presentation and the packaging, so it'll be dope when you get it.
Got you. Got you. Wait, so are there any questions in that comment section on anything we're talking about? Like lights, sound, camera,
No,
action?
nobody talking about everybody listening to the very detailed discussion that we have. And, Motivated Minds is coming through. Richard is over here, talking about fixing the stuff with passion. And listen, Radar is giving us some blessings. These are good folks.
Well, look,
right here.
we warming up so we can get back to them conversations like we had the other week, unfortunately, about the beating death of a black man. But
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to gear towards that. So y'all getting a good tech talk and freelance right now.
Yeah, get it now, right? Get all these gear questions out, because Keith and I are gonna roll up the sleeves.
No, we're gonna get focused, and we ain't gonna have time to be like, oh, I like that. What's that light you got in the back? Because he about to get the new other lights, y'all. Yeah. And so you ain't gonna have time to ask him about all of that.
I got my screen up over here. I do.
Y'all ain't gonna have no time to ask him about that, because we're gonna be zoned in. Zoned in.
See, I got listen. I got in my hand, and I got the screen up over here. It don't make no sense. Man.
Oh man! And look, so here's what's crazy. This is what I'll go back in the community and talk about, because when I see people put up, "Oh, my thing was choppy and this, that, and the third," this is working. I hear you loud and clear, smooth. You done everything you're supposed to do on your side. And that you can't control is coming through great over here. I hear you loud and clear. Yeah. You look great on this side. You're not lagging. Hopefully I'm not lagging through this thing. And perfect. I just figured out, well, I don't have Ecamm open. I did have it open and it was fine, but I normally turn off the system audio. I just uninstall it, and I don't have any problems with Chrome. If I install it, mine will get a little choppy, or I'll be talking and I'll be looking on the screen here and I'm like super delayed, like super lagged. And I don't know why. So, and I can't prove that it's an Ecamm problem or anything, but it could just be a system thing of looking at two audios, and it could be something with Chrome. I don't know.
Well, you real complex in there with all the gear that you got too, right? It's not like you got just one of this and one of that. Again, the man has 7 cameras, folks. He got 4 cameras in the ceiling, 3 cameras, watching the back of his head, one
and
north,
each
south,
one of
east,
them,
and west.
Bro, at each one of them, maybe we can discuss that going forward somewhere. Like each one of them has a purpose, right? And that's something that I would do in a master class. You can help me out with this. I'm just not one of those. I think it's not for everybody.
What's that?
And a couple people try to make me chase that bag on, master class, right? Yeah. And I'm sitting there like you put your room together, excellent. You got your mic. The wrong person in your ear says, "Oh, Jane, you need to do a master class on how to set a room up." And I promise you, I don't care. Any of our friends can get mad with me. Keith Pelzer is going to say it. Yeah. I think it is corny to do that if that's not what you've been doing. Because when you go to chase that bag, you actually ounce yourself, because creatives like ourselves is going to make somebody look up and say, "I just paid all this money for a master class on that, and they're doing this." Because here's what most master classes ain't gonna have: put a Soyuz box in between your Rodecaster Pro and an SM7B, and that's how you get that sound that Keith got.
That's how you, that's how you get that real deep bottom, that real big bottom.
And then the person, then the person that went through all that crap, they start to look at the master class teacher, the money they spent, and they turn around and say, "Hey, I just learned something from his YouTube that's actually better than what I spent all that time for."
I spent all this. I got it for free. Online.
You got what I'm saying?
Google, my Bing AI search, and I got it for free instead of sending you $99.95.
It's like the masterclass people are the oppressors sometimes. I mean, I go get the money, but they're the oppressors sometimes. And sometimes it's just like, okay, there's a difference. There's the person that I do, like I could do master classes. I'm gonna toot my own horn. I actually could do it, but I don't have it in me because my passion is not the bag chasing on holding you hostage with information to give you. To your point, that's why affiliate links would work better for me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And to the person that this is what you do the masterclass, right? But if you into photography and you live stream, I just believe chasing that bag of masterclass is like, it makes no sense, right? It makes sense for that quick dollar, but it's not authentic because I can still grab them same people from you because they'll know this dude eats, breathes, and sleeps this, and not just eat, breathe, and sleep. How can I get your $39.99 on the masterclass? Again, I'm not hating on it. Everybody get your money, but at the same time, in a creative space for what people want, think about this. If you masterclass learning most of the times, you're going to look exactly like everybody else.
That's right in line. And this was not planned, folks. That's right in line with what I was saying. Like being patient with the process and not, if you're the producer, if you're the creator, if you're the entrepreneur, try to go out and do everything. Try to boil the ocean. If that's not really in your wheelhouse, maybe you shouldn't do it because it'll be substandard. It'll just be something else out there that's noise. But if it's what you do and if it's what you really plan to do and you put your 110% into it, then it makes sense. But man, you can't go out there and just not have the patience of understanding who you are when it comes to doing whatever it is that you do. Right.
Boy, you know what it is? You spark something. That's what it is.
Listen,
you've been this way since I know you, man. Simply Subs, what's going on? You actually be sparking that stuff in me. Did I get nervous to say it? But then I'm in a space now. It's crazy. Once I stopped out of pastoring, I was like, I know there's a whole shift in me because I don't have to worry about people judging me because me and Tina at the winery or because I cussed or something. Like I ain't got to worry about none of that right now, right?
I seen you. I know what you do. I'm just saying. All I know is on your iPod, I said iPod, on your iPhone. I know you got some of this too.
Oh, definitely.
It's not all James Cleveland and Kirk Franklin. I know
but man, I'm about to rewrite the script on, just boldly just throwing it out there. Like, okay, where are we going with this? Because I genuinely, from a ministry standpoint of view, I like to help people. It's like, I believe that creative space, here's something else. You line this up so we talk about this later on.
Yeah.
I believe that the creative world has scribes and Pharisees in it. Okay, there's a lot of scribes and Pharisees in their creative world. I mean, they're telling you this is how it go, and this is how it go, and this is how it go. And then Jesus comes along and like, whoa, wait a minute. And they like, well, who the boy? Because he ticked everybody off because he flipped the script. And he could back it up. You see what I'm saying? He was action, not a bag of mouth. You remember that song? Action, not that bag of mouth. He was action. Not a bag of mouth.
Y'all ain't ready for this. What y'all get? Noose just walked in the room. Good to see you, man. You getting it right here. KP is coming with it. I'm writing down scribes and Pharisees right now because
that's scribes and Pharisees. Because listen, it's almost like the trauma that I felt. I didn't go through it, but I felt it in this creative space, and I was like, I think Doc might have talked about it one time or I heard the topic come up about the gatekeepers. And I was just like, yo, these fake behind gatekeepers is out here in this creative space. And I'm watching people suffer because they're sitting there like trying to get a foot in. And it's like, you start to look at, I'm going to say something real profound. People that look at people like gatekeepers, I look at them because I come from a competitive background. And when everybody like, oh, he got the dopest beats, you listen to those beats and you like, man, I got better beats than that. Or somebody say, oh, this drummer or keyboard player is dope. And you in the competitive space, you like, yeah, but I'm me. And I walk in the room. But then you look at everybody in between, it's like, oh, they're like the god of the creative space. And it's like, no, they not. They like my stuff. Or they like James stuff. Or they like somebody else stuff that don't claim to be all of that. I like to help them people out. Because again, when you're comfortable in your own shoe, I can help you and you'll never be me.
Are you
See what
comfortable
I'm
in your
saying?
own shoes?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of creation. That's why the music world suffers so much, because it's like when all these beats started sounding the same, it just got boring. And that's when you heard people say, man, everything the same. It ain't this, that, and the third. So that's why, like, in a sense, the music industry went through a master class. And it was like, oh, this is how you create a beat.
Yeah.
Well, nobody
Keep
really
going.
cared. As George Carlin would say, I hate the quoting, but George Carlin would say,
the great George Carlin. Oh Lord,
the
put
great
the
George
explicit
Carlin
lyric
would
on
say,
this one.
he said, we got all these issues with cocaine and this and the third. He said it never messed up my CD collection. You got to let that sink in to get what he was saying. What it was like, that's like saying to Bob Marley, there's a certain way to do it. It's just, okay, this is what I'm feeling.
Do what you gotta
Creativity kind of got that, but you got to be good on the side of this what I'm feeling, right? You don't try to feel something and then try to get it validated with people, because people be comfortable. And you know what? Keith's always showing up in the dark room. That looked like what he want to do because he's comfortable. There it is,
There it
motivated minds.
Yeah.
He's comfortable in the discomfort of whatever it was, and that's what he's doing. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Listen, for a show that's just coming on, having conscious conversations, it's pretty cool how it all comes back. And matter of fact, we just gave a little class. Y'all can bring ye tithe and ye offering to the.
See, you can spend the master classes off of this if you want, but you don't even have to call a master class. You just call, hey, this is my consultation, to dig in further.
Yeah.
It ain't bothering me. It's like, well, I like Keith and James got them SM7B mic. How'd I hook it up? Well, maybe James and Keith don't have the time. You don't have to hustle. You don't have to master class it. Just be like, yo, I can help you do that. And here's how much I charge.
Here's how much I charge. Here's the invoice.
Here's the invoice. That's why I said I ain't against nobody hustle. Shoot. I was on the phone with somebody. I'm like, oh, they gonna pay me, because I'm like, you realize this turned in from how do I connect this to I'm basically it's 2 hours later. You remember my Cash App, right? Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can you come over and do this for me? No.
Slow down now.
Gas and expenses, travel, T&E time, time and expense. So hey, Chief, I see you in the building. Hey, come back for sure for the Tea No Sleep tonight, man. We're gonna be talking about some things. I know you good people, so I appreciate you, man. Look, simply they pass around the offering plate. There it is. Start putting out buy me a coffees up here. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, put your buy me a coffee. You got the buttons, man.
I don't know.
You got the buttons because you know what you're doing over there.
Yeah. So I got the buttons, but I had, speaking of buttons, here's my ADHD, my self-diagnosed ADHD, and going back and forth. I got the Stream Deck Live, the brand new one. I think it's live.
Yes. How you like it? How you like it? Influence me.
For a minute, I liked it when I got it. And what I did, I sold my XL as soon as I got it. I said, let me bless somebody at at the Hicks price, the family rate, and I gave it to someone for a great price.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I got another XL on order, supposed to be here tomorrow.
So was it the buttons? Were you missing the buttons?
Yeah, I need the buttons because I've expanded the production of the streams so much with like these overlays that are running right now, with the comments and think with so much more than camera switching and things like that. I need more than just these 8 buttons. And yeah, you can have different pages and different levels, but I don't have time to be going back and forth doing that. If I'm trying to look at this, so I'm gonna have both. I'm gonna have the little 8 button one, and I'm gonna have the XL running too here in a couple of days.
Listen, I couldn't agree with you more.
I shouldn't have got rid of it, but again, this is, like I said, this is what we do, right? We are the guinea pigs to go out here and do these things, right?
And you know what you did not do that's great? You did not throw out there, hey, look, I got the new Stream Deck.
Didn't do it.
I'm done with the XL. You quietly did that.
Not that guy, yeah.
The scribes and the Pharisees basically say this is a better product, and that is not true. Right? It's not true that it's better. It's like because you're responsible for people chasing your reasons sometimes, right? And I started to think about the responsibility of it. Like, I like playing around with equipment. You like playing around with equipment. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there are things that happen in our world that next live that we do, we may not have time to talk about the cameras and the lights and all this because the topic is that serious that we're focused. You understand what I'm saying? We in the zone. And people have to separate that to know if I just want to play around with stuff. Well, there's not really an audience in a sense easy to just play around with stuff. And if it is, then you got to be consistent with playing around with stuff if that's what you do. The next thing is, oh my gosh, Keith about to drop a gem on people. Be careful of trying to chase the person that you're not. So this can be repurposed later on. I learned to have a quality respect for people that they look into cameras and lenses. Then there are the scribes and the Pharisees that go, hey, the new so-and-so is coming out, and they go and grab it. You want a big laugh? Everybody who was on the GoPro versus the DJI little thing, whatever, and all these action cams, and then shout outs to you, but to other people, oh, I'm gonna get the FX. You ain't even had an FX3 or even talk about the need for FX3. So what does the FX30 mean to you? You know what it means? It's called FOMO, fear of missing out, right? And then we get off of our whys. I don't even use a GoPro anymore right now. I ain't get rid of it, but I'm just like, listen, I'm on quality stuff. So the latest video I did with me and Tina, that's my A7R5. That's the A7R5 turns up
with the 70 by 200.
Yeah, no, that was the 2470.
Hey,
because I'm like,
and the KP pose with the
yeah, and then me and India, we talking about that new gimbal, right? Because some of the work that we're doing, I got a Weeble S over here, but like the newer DJI, I think I want that because of what I'm gonna do with it. And what's crazy is when you have people that are like advertising, like the one biggest waste that most of us did. I'm gonna put a camera up top for unboxing. Unboxing what? Like, if you ain't in the system of like expertise in cameras,
I did one unboxing in my life.
I mean, I did a couple, and after a while, I was like, this ain't for me because I can't do this every day, and the novelty kind of wore off because you unboxed it, but once it's open, where's the follow through on using the equipment?
That's a good point right there.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a great point for some of these creators. I mean, and again, no shade and no negativity to folks that are doing those unboxings and live selling things like that. But where's that follow up after you done did the ASMR and heard all the crinkly crinkle and looked at the box?
Right.
How is it actually fitting into your workflow? That would be an excellent. Are you still using it? Right?
That part, yeah,
Does it still resonate?
It's that part. Like it took me a year with this. With this setup and tapping a, MV7s over to Rodecaster into the Apollo, to be able to answer them questions, you gotta have some work with it. I knew not to get the universal audio mic. Like, why would I need that? It's like a SM7B duplicate. So I'm like, if I didn't have a mic, then you get it. It's kind of like review what you're going to use, not what you can just get your hands on.
You talking with me on that one right there.
Review what you use. Don't review something that you don't even do. Like, I'm not an expert photographer, so how am I going to do a review?
Yes, you are. I've seen the work. Yes, you are.
Okay, here's the thing: expert and good at, right? So I can do commentary on how I use the camera. But I have to point you to the Caleb Pikes. I got to point you to the Gerald Unduns and all the Jason Vongs because they are going to review what every photographer kind of wants to know. I don't know about the auto tracking is better in my two cameras. I know it because one is newer than the other, but technically, and the A7R5 is like advanced, but the way I shoot, the A7 IV is absolutely fine. You understand what I'm saying? Your FX30, the bomb. You understand what I'm saying? The tracking on that is the bomb. But compared to my A7C, if you're just pointing at somebody and following somebody, it's fine. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most people don't know to say that. And the thing is, if you're not in with Sony, you're not in with Shure, you're not in with X, Y, and Z, like, how am I trusting your unboxing and your expertise? You're not an audio guy. You're not a photographer. You're not.
Exactly the reason why I am not and probably will not ever be successful at any live selling, because that's just I can't just get random boxes of stuff. Back in the day, probably I'd be cool with it, but I just can't say just send me this and that, and I'll unbox it and I'll do a video on it. All money is not good money sometimes, man. All money.
I mean, Monty Weaver, that's his bag. By all
Monty
means,
Weaver,
you know what I'm saying?
Man. He a bad. Listen,
Monty does that.
Monty
like you gotta look at a Monty and be like, "Am I built like that?"
Yeah.
You know, and if you're not, like, I was like, "Nope."
Yeah.
I ain't finna be. No.
But that's his expertise. That's his lane. That's how he's serving his community by doing all of that. I mean, when he pulled out all of his regular mirrorless cameras and went with all PTZ cameras, I was like, dude, what are you doing? But that was
right.
Him. And they were all 4K, because I hadn't seen 4K PTZ cameras. But when he pulled those out, I said, okay, I see what you're doing. And then he started getting all this other gear, and I'm like, okay, makes sense for you and for the segment of your community that you're talking about. But I can't. It's not for everyone, which is cool, which is fine. But I appreciate what he does, because he's a master at what it is that he does. But again, you're right. I can't do it.
Speaking of chill mode people, Kevin Cox,
Lord have mercy. Listen, I actually
that's
promoted
chill mode
Kevin
number
Cox.
one. Chill mode. He chill mode number one.
Yeah, listen, I promoted Kevin Cox. He is the moderator for all Hicks New Media properties. Listen, I gave that man keys to the executive washroom.
Wait, he was just reading. What was that he said? I'm looking at it. Hold up.
What's he saying? I was just reading an article about de-influencing, and this hits the nail on. Wow. Oh, let me write that down.
De-influencing. That's crazy.
Kevin coming with the big words too. You know, he coming with big words.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, write that down. Stop the consumerism for the sake of buying. What is the practical use case? Don't just go out there and buy just because you can buy, just because it's on sale, because it's a lightning deal on Amazon, just because it's an open box at Best Buy. How you gonna put it in use?
The influencer world got like the opioid crisis. You know what I'm saying? It went like the opioid crisis. Make it plain. It was just like slapping people with stuff. And you look up, it was after my.
Oh, that's right. That was Kevin Cox. My fault, friend. Yeah, that was right. I knew I gave it to somebody in the family. Yeah, he got the stream deck. Okay.
Hey, right, you know what? People realize, like, I have a circle of people that's like, they like, yo, what you offloading? Because I like to strip down the space.
Yeah.
To keep it where the room is practical. This kind of goes back to what you asked me like 20 minutes ago, but it's like for practicality in production, because it's a build up to, and this is like my music career. We didn't just put these artists out. We got to that because we understood our why, right? And then it was something I learned at a event this last weekend. Was the question was about clarity. And one thing about clarity that's interesting is being clear that you don't see the vision clearly, but it's a vision, right? Wow. Some people miss that. They think that clarity means you get the full picture. Now, if I slide in, Keith Pelzer slides in these spiritual things, right? And the New Testament is a place where Paul says we see through a glass darkly. So don't let no church people tell you they can see the whole thing about heaven and all if you believe in it, right? Careful there, because even what we read that we believe as believers in the Bible, if that's your bag, even I think even in Muslim religion, there's a place in the Quran that speaks about the unclarity in clarity. Right. Mm-hmm. So the clarity and unclarity is called faith. So going where you're going, you don't have to see everything clearly. It's just going in the direction of it's blurry, but I got an idea. So it's kind of like being able to drive with your windshield wipers jacked up. you don't sit in one spot and don't go nowhere. You're just a little careful in your process.
Come on.
Because you can't see clearly, but you can tell there's a truck in front of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
proceed with caution.
You can kind of get something out of it. So it's that kind of thing with, you know, with clarity. I don't know. I felt that, you know, with clarity.
Listen,
but
I'll let you say it too. And I'm over here adding markers because again, that's gonna be some micro content in a couple of hours.
Oh man, you know.
and Kevin, no, keep that, brother, because like I said, I ordered a new one, so it's all good. But man, that's good. That's good stuff right there. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna leave people just in a lurch because I'm gonna leave people hanging because we feed them like crack addicts right now.
Got you.
Y'all better subscribe to the convos. Y'all better subscribe to my channel because we gonna do this. We do it bi-weekly on Thursdays, typically 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. This is what we do.
This just priming. Listen, I'm feeling it. Something coming up where folk gonna be looking for this. I promise you they're gonna be looking for it. You got the best here. You got the West Coast and East Coast. You understand what I'm saying?
We in the building. We got Philly and Cali. Man, don't.
Yeah.
It was my fault that we didn't last year, but don't let us get together in the same room.
And I'm telling
you were 50 feet away from me, and I gotta go catch a plane or whatever.
Oh, you ain't come back to New York and I don't creep up on you, boy. I'm gonna creep up on you Philly style. You ain't gonna see me coming. I'm gonna have a hoodie on and you gonna be like, whoa.
You're gonna throw some batteries at me. Oh, see,
and I know you military. I know how to creep up on you the right way, you know.
You're gonna throw some batteries at me, you know.
I know to duck when I touch you, so you turn around. I know to be ducking because I don't know what kind of maneuver you gonna have. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we both from the street, so you never know what's gonna happen. Protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Folks, this is what we do, man. Just real straight up conversations, man. I know KP got some other things to do, so I won't be cognizant of this man's time. He got clients knocking on the door. I heard him knocking.
They'll be here in a few. You know,
I know. But you gotta go make yourself a cup of coffee.
I gotta cook for your homie. You know what I'm saying? She at the desk, so she the breadwinner around this joint. I don't have no problem saying it. Like she in her back because I'm the creator right now. So she the boss right now. You know what I'm saying? In front of that computer.
You handle your business. Don't get locked in the basement again. I remember you got locked in the basement. Well, I'm not gonna put you on blast like that.
In the doghouse. I mean, in the doghouse. Look, you can put me in the doghouse with my cameras and stuff. I'm good.
I did. Tina said, "You just go ahead and sleep on this couch right here. You stay down here all night." I said, "Oh, did I do that? Did I?"
But my latest video, you see her? She set me up. She said, "Where you park at?"
Folks, if you're not following KP on Instagram, you missing some life lessons.
I need you to have that FX30 with you when we show up on you. I need you just pull it out, turn it sideways, and just run it.
I just be screaming. We gonna be screaming everywhere, you know, and just let it roll. And I'm gonna sell it to ABC and CBS. And
you're gonna be the producer then. You're gonna be the producer. You in. Man. It goes somewhere, you in. We like James Hicks is a part of this.
In the building. I just want 2%, you know, cost of living. That's all I want. I'm gonna let you keep your
Don't shortchange yourself, man. Look, listen, man. You ain't with greedy people. We trying to everybody need to eat.
I said, hold on. I'm gonna write that right. Everybody need to eat. I'm gonna write that.
Everybody need to eat, man. Everybody need to eat.
I'm putting that with the scribes. You know, everybody.
Here's a gem. Here's a nugget. If you're not concerned about everybody eating, then you're gonna have carcasses around you that you got to deal with.
Being quiet real quick, letting that marinate. Y'all, you heard that right? I'm just letting that. I was quiet on purpose to let that marinate.
I felt that one. That's that. If you aren't concerned about everybody eating around you, you're going to have sick people and carcasses around you that you got to deal with. That's not good.
All y'all folks that are watching that know the YouTube and you know how to do a clip that piece right there and share that on your socials. Just do a little quick, like 10 seconds. Just do a clip.
It's gonna be a problem.
Put that out there on the Facebook and on the and on your Twitter feeds. That piece right there. So yeah, I got everybody. My goodness gracious, we got Servant of Christ Ministries. Hey, what's up, everyone?
Okay. And who is that? Because I be trying to remember who's who. Because YouTube be throwing me off. I be trying to figure out who's who on the YouTube.
I don't know. But sorry you joined late there, Servant of Christ Ministry. Appreciate you though. You coming over on the convo side. Don't forget your boy over here too. I'm trying to get these numbers up as well. But Keith, be good, brother. I appreciate you for being flexible. While I get ready to get on these highways and byways to go visit my son up in Oregon. We will reconvene in a couple of weeks and do it hopefully maybe on the Thursday at our normal time. But we got some topics here. Everybody need to eat. De-influencing.
I like that.
And the Pharisees. On, Kevin. Golly, I'm gonna give him credit.
KC.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that we give him credit on that one. And if I don't write it down, I'll forget it because I'm old. All right, brother. You good?
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. Appreciate
I will holler at you.
We all at you, man. We out, folks. Go make that food. Go make that coffee, and then go make that food. Go get her some. I don't know. Don't get her no fast food though. We'll go get her something nice.
That's the thing. She's spoiled, man. She's spoiled because I got that. She actually cooks better than me, but I'm the best cook in the house right now because I cook the most.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Bye. We out.